the whole point of principle. This is Bob Avakian, Revolution number 132. The whole point of principle is that you have to fight for it when it is not easy to do. There is no need for principle if the only time it is applied is when it doesn't matter. From my book, Basics, Chapter 5, Morality, Revolution, and the Goal of Communism. In broad terms, what I mean by principle is an honest approach to seeking the truth, including the truth about what those who disagree with you actually stand for, and acting in a way grounded in the morality and furthering the cause of seeking justice. This emphasis on the importance of principle is a fundamental point of orientation in the new communism I have developed. It serves as a basic guideline for how we RevComs, revolutionary communists, approach everything we do, how we are working for an emancipating revolution based on this new communism, and how we seek to unite for common objectives with others holding different political and ideological viewpoints, while promoting and engaging in open and honest discussion and debate about the big questions and the solutions to the profound problems with which humanity is confronted. And even while principle is unfortunately an alien concept for too many these days, it is nevertheless of crucial importance, especially now. Principled engagement and seeking unity on a principled basis needs to be applied broadly in light of the profound need to unite all who can be united, millions and millions coming from many different political perspectives, in striving together for the common objective and urgent necessity of driving out the Trump fascist regime. This is concentrated in the historic call to action initiated by refusefascism.org and open to all, which begins, "The time has come for the fall of the Trump fascist regime." Beginning November 5, 2025, Washington, D.C. The call continues. Fascism is not a looming threat. It is upon us now. Humanity's only hope is for the decent people of this country to rise in our millions. We cannot wait for future and rigged elections. We must drive the Trump fascist regime from power. Beginning November 5, the one-year anniversary of Trump's election, flood D.C. in nonviolent protest. Surround the White House. Surround the Capitol. Surround the illegitimate fascist-packed Supreme Court. Come back again and again. Across the country, refuse to comply. Every person of conscience, millions of us together, grind the machinery of the fascist regime to a halt. Don't stop until Trump is removed. As Refuse Fascism has also emphasized, this is a call to unite every person and every organization and group that is disturbed and outraged by the mounting atrocities perpetrated by the accelerating juggernaut of the Trump fascist regime. This call from Refuse Fascism clearly outlines why millions must act now with the urgency the situation demands. The Trump fascist regime is shredding the rule of law, making a mockery of due process, illegitimately deploying the military on U.S. soil, disappearing immigrants and other brown-skinned people into brutal concentration camps, aggressively resurrecting genocidal white supremacy, reversing the gains not only of the 1960s, but even of the Civil War and Reconstruction, enslaving women through the brutality and suffocation of forced motherhood, erasing LGBT people, trampling democratic rights, violating international law, assaulting and threatening politicians and judges, paving the way for boundless terror against the people, accelerating climate collapse, cutting science and medicine, costing millions of lives, depleting humanity's store of knowledge, destroying truth, drowning out reason, subjugating the arts to fascist cruelty and conformity, targeting everything that is decent, moral, and good, all at the whim of a debased lunatic tyrant. Building the necessary unity of millions and millions from all over the country in nonviolent mobilization to D.C., with resolute determination to drive out this fascist regime, will require overcoming many obstacles, including likely repressive moves by the Trump regime, as well as the divide and conquer schemes of those who, for various reasons, do not want this to succeed and will attempt to undermine and sabotage the broad unity of people, organizations, and groups that must be actively built and powerfully mobilized toward this crucial objective. At the same time, there is the very real question which a number of people have seriously raised. Already millions have protested what the Trump regime is doing, yet this regime remains in power and is rapidly rampaging ahead in perpetrating horror after horror. So how could even a massive mobilization to D.C. have a chance of succeeding, of actually driving out this regime? The answer is that as important as mass protests have been, what is being called for by Refuse Fascism is not just another protest. In keeping with the unprecedented nature of what is happening with the terrible tyranny of this fascist regime, what is being called for is an unprecedented historic mobilization and convergence of millions in D.C., determined to create a massive political earthquake from below, bringing about a profound political crisis such that the completely illegitimate nature of the Trump fascist regime stands out all the more sharply, provoking and motivating major shifts and realignments throughout society, including within the dominant institutions, such that this regime can no longer function and cannot remain in power. It is true that uniting and mobilizing the force of millions determined to actually drive out this fascist regime will have to confront daunting difficulties and powerful obstacles. But it is also profoundly true that allowing this regime to remain in power will have terrible consequences far beyond even the horrors it is already enforcing. And there is this profound truth as well. The massive mobilization called for by Refuse Fascism and Open to All represents the real possibility, the only real possibility, of actually driving out this fascist regime and putting an end to the endless horrors it is determined to perpetrate. To repeat this profound point, humanity's only hope is for the decent people of this country to rise in our millions, to make a powerful reality of the call to all from Refuse Fascism.